Hi all. Today's video is going to be very informative. Today we are going to discuss about Maven. So in interviews, you may face all these questions. What is Maven? What are the advantages of Maven project over Java project? And how can we create Maven project in Eclipse? So let's discuss what is Maven. So basically Maven is a build tool. We have already seen what ant build tool is, right? And we used to run our automation script from command line, and we used to use a few commands like clean, compile, run, and generate report, right? So whenever it comes to writing automation script, we may need an IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So we need Eclipse for writing automation script. But when it comes to executing an automation script, we may need IDE or we may not need IDE because we can, um, execute our automation script from command line, right? Eclipse is not at all required for executing your automation script. So basically it's a build tool where actually we can compile our program and we can run our program. Okay. So basically Maven is a build tool. Now let's discuss about the second question. What are the advantages of Maven project over Java project? So as of now what we were doing, so basically when we created this particular Java project, right? Selenium project. So how we were adding the jar files. So we used to right click on this particular project. We used to go to build path, then configure build path. Then we used to go to libraries and we used to click here, right? Add external jars, and we used to browse for the jars to be added, right? In my case, all the jars are present inside leaves folder, and all these jar files we downloaded manually, right? It's a tedious job, right? So you have to download all the jar files, then you have to configure all the jar files manually in your project. It's a tedious and very lengthy process. Okay, but when it comes to Maven, so when you create Maven project, it comes with one pom.xml file. Okay, pom.xml file. So here pom stands for project object model. Okay, POM stands for project object model, and in this pom.xml file you can add all the dependencies. Okay, I will show you like what dependencies. For example, instead of using selenium.jar file, I can use the dependency of that particular selenium. Okay, so that all the jar files related to selenium will get downloaded automatically, and those will be configured in our project as Maven dependencies. Okay, you don't have to take that much pain for downloading that jar file manually, and you have to configure it in your project. So the whole process will be done automatically. You just have to add the dependency in the pom.xml file. Okay, and what is one more advantage, like for example in future if the version gets changed, okay, now you are using Selenium 3 and Selenium 4 has been introduced, right? Now you want to change the version, you want to upgrade your Selenium version, so you just have to go to pom.xml file and you just have to update your version, and automatically Selenium 4 jar files will get downloaded and those jar files will get configured in your project. This is something I will show you, don't worry. So basically these are the advantages of Maven project. Okay, and another thing is that if you go for Maven project, you can obviously do command line execution. Okay, You can compile your program and you can run your program from command line itself. You don't need Eclipse IDE for executing your automation script. So basically these are the advantages of Maven project over Java project. First thing is you don't have to download the jar files manually, and you don't have to configure them in your project manually. Okay, the whole process will be done automatically if you go for Maven project. You just have to add the dependency in the pom.xml file. Second thing is that you can run your automation script from command line itself. Okay, one more advantage is, like for example, if you want to give your project, or if you want to deliver your project to someone, if a new member joins your team and now you have to give your project, okay, whatever you have automated so far, you want to deliver that project to someone else. Okay, so if you go for Java project, right, then like if you see all these jar files, right, let me go to that particular folder. C, sorry, not in C drive, it is in E drive. If you see, its size is 51.2 MB, right? So you have to give all the jar files to that person also. Okay, so you have to zip your project, then you have to deliver it to that particular person, right? And all your libraries take huge memory size. Okay, but if you go for Maven project, you just have to zip your project and deliver that project to someone, and that person will again do the same thing. Okay, once he imports the Maven project, all the jar files will get downloaded and those jar files will get configured in his project automatically. You don't have to explicitly give them or give that person the libraries. Okay, so that is one of the advantages of using Maven project. So now let's see, like how can we create Maven project in Eclipse? Okay, how can we create Maven project in Eclipse? So basically, if you are using higher version of Eclipse, then Maven plugin comes with it. You don't have to install it explicitly. Okay, so if you see, this is the latest version of Eclipse I am using. So Maven is already installed in it. You don't have to install it again. Okay, so how to create? So just go to File, go to New, and go to Other. Okay, see, we have something called as Maven here, right? So just expand it, select Maven project, click on Next. Okay, so you have to check this checkbox, create a simple project. Now click on Next. And here you have to provide group ID and artifact ID. Artifact ID is something like you have to give your project name. Okay, suppose I can give like Selenium Maven automation. Okay, and here I can write like this: com dot Maven dot Selenium automation. Okay, so here you have to provide group ID and artifact ID. Now just click on finish. Okay, so once you click on finish, if you see, it has started creating the Maven project. Okay, let me close this class file. See, it has created one pom.xml file. This is what I was talking about. Okay, so if you see, so here it has already like it has already written one dependency, test-ng dependency if you see, right? And the version is 7.4.0. Okay, so now if I go to this Maven dependencies, right, so you can find test-ng jar file. See, this is your test-ng jar file. Okay, so it has already downloaded that test-ng jar file for me. I don't have to download it explicitly. Okay, so now what if I want to download what if I add the dependency of Selenium, because I need Selenium related jar files, right? So all you have to do is you just have to go to Google, okay, and just write Maven dependency. Okay, Maven dependency, or say Maven repository. Okay, here you can just write Selenium and click on search. Okay, so as we are using Selenium with the Java programming language, so we will need Java libraries, right? Selenium Java libraries. So just click here and it will tell you the versions. Okay, so this is the latest version 4.1.2. Let's go with this. Okay, just take this dependency and paste it here. Control I, Control A, then Control I. Okay, for indentation, and save it. So automatically it will start downloading all the Selenium related jar files. Now if you expand these Maven dependencies, you can see the Selenium jar file. See, Selenium Java 4.1.2. Now if you want to write any test, you can write it. So what I will do is I will create one package inside src test Java. Say I'll just write here, say Selenium tests, and click on finish. And I will copy one class file from here and paste it over there. Okay, so what we can do is, say this handle web table, I can copy this and paste it over here. Okay, now let's run it and check. So to run this particular class file, I only need Java, okay, and test-ng. So what I can do is I will just change it to test-ng. Okay, so I'll just write here public static void, say test1, and I will give the @test annotation. Okay, and I will just import test annotation. Okay, so that's it. Okay, and if you see, I have Selenium dependency and I also have test-ng dependency. So let's run it. So right click on this class file, run as one test-ng test. So it's going to verify our web table. So it's going to fetch number of rows and number of columns, and it is going to fetch each and every cell value from this particular HTML table. Okay, so let's go to Eclipse and check. So if you see, the page title is HTML tables and number of rows 7, number of columns 3, and now it is fetching all the cell values. And our test case has been passed. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you for watching this.